What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we have some breaking news that's going to be directly tied to stimulus and stimulus checks. And this is your stimulus check update and Build Back Better update. Now, you guys, this is because the pandemic and what's happening with the Omicron variant is going to be directly tied to whether or not we're going to be seeing more stimulus packages, provisions, and even more stimulus checks on a federal level. And we have some breaking news I'm going to share with you in just a second, and take a look. As a result, articles coming out like this. Will the Omicron surge bring stimulus checks back to the table in 2022? This just came out yesterday. This is what's being asked. Here's another one. Stimulus update. Will there be another payment because of the Omicron variant? This one came out yesterday. And this is because, take a look at this, you guys. Breaking news. U.S. reports over 1 million new daily cases of Omicron surge right now. And you guys, we are hearing that this is overwhelming. A lot of people are saying, well, it's a lot less severe and deadly. Well, yes, but the problem is everybody catching it at the same time. We're seeing airports shut down. Hospitals are become overwhelmed with people all sick at the same time. And we're hearing this is having a negative effect on our economy. Take a look at the charts, you guys. Absolutely breaking, shattering previous records from the last wave. 1,017,376 cases reported yesterday. And that's just reported cases. People who test positive with take-homes, they're not even included in this number. And here you can see the charts of daily cases and hospitalizations on the increase. And they're saying this is even more of a concern than just the deaths reported, because this could be impacting our economy, shutting things down like we're seeing across the nation, affecting supply chain issues. So this is going to have a negative impact upon what's unfolding, and they're saying it could lead to more stimulus provisions being needed. Now, you guys, I'll be sure to keep you up to date, but I'm going to share with you what's being reported right now in regard to whether or not we're going to be getting a fourth federal level check. And also wanted to let you guys know that the new channel is going to be launching here very soon. For those of you interested in growing wealth and personal finance, I will pin a comment down below if you'd like to go subscribe and turn on notifications. The first video, I'm going to be sharing with you what it was that I was told several years ago from a multi-millionaire when I asked him, so how do I get rich? And he told me exactly what to do. He said, there's 3 things all wealthy people focus on, and if you do this, you will become rich. And I did what he told me to do, and it worked. So first video, right off the bat, I'm going to be sharing with you what it was that he had to say to me, you guys. So if you're interested, go subscribe, turn on notifications. Going to be launching. Keep an eye out for that video this week. But you guys, right now, let's dive into economic news, get you caught up on stimulus checks. And let's start off by smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Just takes a second, really helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Also, leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. And if this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. You can come join the Ram fam, the viewing community. I'll keep you up to date on everything going on. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. You want to hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. And I gotta say this, use caution here on YouTube, because there's all these scammers and they take my picture and they create a title, Steve Ram, and they go in the comments, they claim to be me, and then they say, contact me on WhatsApp, contact my assistant, wire me money, what's your personal information? You guys, that is not me. I don't do that. I'm just here to get you caught up on the latest. And if you want to contact me directly, do it on Instagram. But with that being said, let's dive into these articles, get you caught up on the latest with a potential fourth check due to everything going on right now with the new Omicron variant. All right, you guys, so first article, link in the description below if you'd like to read it for yourself. This one is from The Motley Fool, and the title says, will Omicron surge bring stimulus checks back to the table in 2022? This just came out yesterday. Key points is that the Omicron variant is fueling a surge in new cases like we have not seen before, and if the economy is forced to shut down to some degree like we're actually seeing right now, it could make the case for more stimulus funds. Now, I'm just going to jump right down in the article to where it says, should Americans hope for a fourth stimulus check? And it says, the economy has, at this point, come a long ways since the start of the pandemic, when the jobless rate had reached a record high. Now, if the pandemic situation gets worse and the impacts to the economy are happening in negative ways, it could make the case to send another stimulus check into Americans' bank accounts. But that's a backward step that no one should hope for. So no one should hope that this pandemic gets worse. But if it does, that could make a case for more stimulus provisions. Now, if anything, we should hope that the Omicron surge does indeed indeed prove to be relatively mild and short-lived, and we should also hope that businesses aren't forced to shut temporarily in its wake. However, we are seeing that is happening right now. Many businesses are still in the process of recovering from 2020, and at this point, we should be rooting for continued economic improvement instead of setbacks to get stimulus checks. Now, it's also worth noting that many restrictions are imposed due to the current outbreak. It could result in a supply chain disruption, and that could in turn produce even higher levels of inflation for U.S. consumers to deal with. And right now, inflation is at a 40-year all-time high. Now, right now, many people are struggling to make ends meet due to the higher living costs across the board, and a fourth stimulus check might help with that regards. But if rampant inflation lingers, it could easily erode that benefit. And what they're saying is they believe that previous stimulus packages might actually be contributing to the inflation we're currently experiencing, which is Senator Joe Manchin's reason for saying we have a cause to pause on more stimulus, saying we will just add to the problem. But people are saying since inflation is so bad, people do need financial assistance. But what we're hearing is even if they do that, right now the inflation might be so bad that they said that it will probably erode that check. So that might even make the case for more checks or larger amounts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How do we deal with this issue? Alright, you guys, so next up, link in the description below to this article that came out, and this one's going to be covering why you shouldn't look for a check and also why you should. And as you guys know here on the channel, I just report to you what's coming out. So whether there is or isn't going to be a check, I'll just make sure to report it to you so that way you know what's happening. So this article says, will there be another payment because of the Omicron variant? This came out yesterday, and the first part says why it won't happen, because the Biden administration wants to build up the Build Back Better bill. So they're going to be discussing this, and as you guys know, that bill currently is being negotiated in the Senate with the president and Joe Manchin, and it currently does not have a check included, which a lot of progressives are not happy about. But we've heard progressives say, listen, try to get Joe Manchin to pass it through. I shared this with you in yesterday's video. Whatever passes, go ahead and get it done, and then what doesn't, do it through executive action. And progressives are also saying after Build Back Better, bring another stimulus package. And in this one, we're going to try to get provisions of the past to help out with direct payments right to people, including potentially stimulus checks, unemployment extensions, provisions that they're saying were the top in helping fight against poverty. Now, this part of the article says, although another round of direct stimulus is not on the agenda, Biden's priority for 2022 is to try to push through a massive $2 trillion Build Back Better bill, which is awaiting Senate approval after it passes the House. However, Biden will have to convince Senator Joe Manchin to get on board with the bill's provisions before it has a chance of getting passed through the Senate, and Manchin has repeatedly voiced concerns of inflation. So right now they're saying the focus is Build Back Better. The bill features a massive expansion of the social safety net, including an expansion of the child tax credit that was introduced as a part of the pandemic relief last year. Now also, why it could happen. Stimulus checks have been dispersed following a big rise in cases. So again, stimulus checks become directly tied to what's happening with the pandemic, and right now the Omicron variant is surging like we have not seen before. If the situation with the Omicron variant worsens in the weeks and months to come, maybe another round of direct relief might come as well. Now, all three rounds of the stimulus checks were distributed at times when there was a sharp rise in cases, and that is exactly what's happening right now. Now, listen to this. If the Omicron variant is severe enough to warrant pandemic restrictions to be reintroduced, so if we got to bring some form of lockdowns or things are getting shut down due to this massive surge, the White House might have to reconsider the idea of sending out more direct payments to offset the loss of income for individuals and loss of revenue to businesses. So in other words, if this variant spread gets so bad that everything starts shutting down, like we're already seeing with airports, hospitals being overwhelmed, businesses start closing their doors, and we have some forms of shutdowns or lockdowns, well, they're saying then it'll be very likely that a fourth check could be reintroduced to the negotiating table. So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. This is breaking news just happening right now with this massive surge, and we're hearing that a lot of people are saying we might need more stimulus provisions. Now, I will keep you up to date on that. And also, right now in the Senate, President Joe Biden, Senator Joe Manchin, and the senators there are working away to try to pass the Build Back Better bill. And as I mentioned, progressives have said, whatever doesn't make it in that bill, President Joe Biden, we want you to do executive actions to force it through and push through what is needed at this time. And they also said, whatever doesn't make it in there, we want to see another stimulus package in 2022. And in this one, we'd like for you to reintroduce provisions of the past, which could be checks and unemployment provisions and other things that are needed. And also, states, cities, and counties are starting to pass their own packages as well. That's right, finally taking that American Rescue Plan Act money back in March of 2021 and now in 2022. Passing their own packages and in many cases their own checks. And this seems to be popping up almost every other day now. So as it rolls out, I'll let you know what might be available to you, you guys. So that is the latest. And as always, like I said, I will keep you up to date here on the channel. And thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Also, consider joining that second channel, Steve Ram Finance. If you're interested in growing wealth and personal finance, I will pin a comment down below. All you got to do is click that link, go subscribe, turn on notifications. And if you want to stay up to date on economic news here on this channel, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. And with that being said, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.